Vietnam. What comes to your mind when you hear that word?
War.
Drugs.
Yeah, a lot of different things. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. Thank you, Janet. It's good to have everybody here. It's good to see some new faces here. People that I don't know, that means we're growing. I had the opportunity to go to Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia for Toastmasters for the International Convention in August. After the convention, I planned to take a short vacation in Vietnam. And what my intention was to simply visit a Toastmasters club in Vietnam. So prior to going to Kuala Lumpur, I made contact with a club in Vietnam, told them I would like to come visit them. The club I was visiting was called the Vietnam Intel Club. It's the Intel Corporation that makes the processors for computers. They have a big, huge complex there in Vietnam. That whole thing evolved over a period of about 3 weeks into, I'm no longer visiting a Toastmasters club. I am now going to conduct training for all the clubs in Saigon. And I had to get the president of Toastmasters involved. I had to get Toastmasters World Headquarters involved in all this to make sure I wasn't crossing any gray areas or boundaries. Vietnam, I had my own preconceived ideas of what Vietnam would be like. And I very quickly learned to throw all those out the window. Because Vietnam is nothing like we think it is today. Vietnam, I was only in Saigon. And I call it Saigon because it also has another name called Ho Chi Minh City. But the people in the north call it Ho Chi Minh City, and the people in the south call it Saigon. Because the war that we refer to as the Vietnam War, they refer to as the Civil War. Because it was a war between the north and the south of the country. And it's still somewhat a divided country. One thing I found very curious about the people in Vietnam is you have some upper class, which is mostly government officials. And you have a middle class, and then you have a very poor lower class. But even the poorest of the poor that have no formal education speak 3 languages. They speak Vietnamese, they speak Chinese Mandarin, and they speak English. I encountered a lot of street vendors in Saigon, and they all spoke fluent English. From the little bitty kids all the way up to people that I would guess were in their 80s could speak fluent English, along with Chinese, along with Vietnamese. And it made me wonder, they're supposed to be uneducated, and yet you look at our country, and we have educated people, and how many languages do we speak? It's something to think about. On the last day of my trip to Vietnam, I was to meet with the clubs that are in Saigon. Now, there's 3 Toastmasters clubs in Saigon, and there's one in Hanoi. And Hanoi is way up north. Takes about 8 hours to drive from Saigon to Hanoi. They only have one 4-lane highway that connects the two, and it's about an 8-hour drive. Ironically, Joe talked about bringing clubs together. And this was the first time the clubs in Saigon had ever come together. It's something they had never thought of. Coming together for a joint training session. Wow. One of the things that is about Saigon is the fact that they don't have leadership. Their area governor lives in Thailand. So we have to realize that over there things are really spread out. They live in what's called District 97P, that's District 97 Provisional. They're not a full district yet. And their district governors in Thailand. They have their regional advisors in Malaysia. Their international director is in Singapore. So when you think about it, they're really spread out all over. But I want to get back to the 3 clubs in Saigon. They don't have anybody to help them. They did not even know about the concept of bringing clubs together for networking, joint training, or anything like that. They had not had club officer training. In fact, one club did not get their club officers entered into the TI website on time, and they were locked out. And now they had no idea. How can we get credit for anything? We're not getting any communication from World Headquarters. They did not know what they had to do to be reconnected with World Headquarters. They had an area governor visit one time, I believe last year, but they just visited one club. And that's okay, because when you think that that area governor had to cross a time zone and had to get a visa to enter Vietnam, and the visas are about $250 a person to do a one-time visit. So it's very expensive for an area governor just to go to Vietnam and visit. So they weren't really getting any help in what they need to grow Toastmasters in Vietnam. So they really jumped the opportunity of having an international director come to visit. And I conducted officer training for them. We had a joint meeting. It was a whole afternoon, a whole Friday afternoon. But I proposed an idea to the Vietnam Toastmasters Club, and I had proposed the same idea to my home club, Vineyard, is that the Vineyard Toastmasters Club adopt one of the clubs in Saigon as a sister club, where we can help them by videotaping our speeches, especially educational speeches from Successful Club series, Leadership Excellence series, or Better Speaker series, plus our speeches, and ask them to evaluate our speeches. And likewise, they are recording their speeches for us to evaluate their speeches. And we can give them direction and guidance in running their club without crossing boundary lines, because I've already pre-approved this through the international director, Patrick Wee, and their regional advisor, Mohammed Arif, and the provisional district governor, lieutenant governor of education training, lieutenant governor of marketing of District 97P, that we do this to help them. They think it's a great idea. This is what technology can do for us today. We'll be able to help them. And how will they help us? They'll help us to understand cultural differences. The clubs in Vietnam all speak English. 2 of the 3 clubs have Facebook pages if you would like to check them out. If you go to the TI website where it says find a club, if you simply type in Vietnam, it'll pop up Ho Chi Minh City or Hanoi, and you go to Ho Chi Minh City, you will see direct links to their Facebook pages. The reason I bring this up to this membership team is I would like this membership team to consider this concept. We have several strong clubs here. We got the Twin Bridges Club, Greenwood Club, Vineyard, Woodman. What if these strong clubs adopt a weaker club like Batesville or some of the other clubs that are struggling out in Division E? We don't have to go out of the country to do this. We can do it right here within Division E. A stronger club can adopt a weaker club and help them, again, through teaching them how to advertise themselves through Facebook, through developing their Free Toast Host website, evaluating their speeches, giving them feedback on problems that they may be having as far as running their club, growing the membership. So this is the idea that I want to propose, and this is my challenge to you, is that this Division E seriously consider setting up a network of where the stronger clubs start working with some of the weaker clubs to help them to grow and bring them back to charter strength so that they too can be a stronger club, and we actually will help more Toastmasters in the future. Madam Chair.